अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, आप देख रहे हैं नसीम ज़राइट पाकिस्तान। आज हम एक ऐसे इशू पर बात करेंगे जिस पे कि पाकिस्तान में पाकिस्तान के बनने से पहले बात होती रही, ना कि बात होती रही। एक पाकिस्तान के लोगों का इस मामले से बहुत गहरा लगाव है और वो है इशू फ़लस्तीन का इशू। आपको मालूम है जब पाकिस्तान की रेजोल्यूशन पास हुई 1940 में उस वक्त फ़लस्तीनियों के हक़ में भी एक रेजोल्यूशन पास हुई। कायद आज़म मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना ने इस पोजीशन को आगे लेके बढ़े और ना कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर बढ़े। आपको हम पहले भी बता चुके कि 1948 में जब फ़लस्तीन की जगह इज़राइल बन रहा था फ़लस्तीन की सरजमीन पे, तो कायद आज़म ने ख़त लिखा था ट्रूमैन को, हैरी ट्रूमैन को 1948 में, और उन्होंने ये 1948 का ख़त लिखा था उन्होंने प्रेसिडेंट ट्रूमैन को, और डीक्लासिफाइड डॉक्यूमेंट्स में वो बाहर निकला। और वो जो उन्होंने बात कही थी जब कि हिस्ट्री विल नॉट फॉरगिव अस एंड इट्स अ क्राइम अगेंस्ट ह्यूमैनिटी, वो बात उनकी आज 70-75 साल के बाद उतनी ही सच है, उतनी ही उसमें तक़वियतन ना कि शायद ज़्यादा आज सच साबित हुई। क्योंकि जो हमने देखा कि तूफ़ान अल अक्सा था अक्टूबर में पिछले साल 2023 में, उसके बाद हमने देखा कि मामलात आगे बढ़े, कितने 50,000 से ज़्यादा फ़लस्तीन हैं वो शहीद हुए और लाखों से ज़्यादा वो ये ज़ख्मी हुए और क्या क्या उनके साथ जुर्म हुई। और हर उस चीज़ को आगे बढ़ाते हुए जो आज हमारे सामने मामला है वो ये है कि अमेरिका के सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने एक सामने ला के रख दिया अपना आइडिया, और उन्होंने आइडिया नहीं, उन्होंने कहा ये तो अपना, जैसे कहते हैं ना, एक हुक्म उन्होंने सादिर किया कि इधर जो गाज़ा है उसके हालात इतने बिगड़े हैं कि अब हम गाज़ा से फ़लस्तीनियों को निकालेंगे और गाज़ा को ऐसा ज़बरदस्त बनाएंगे, इसको रिवेरिया एक बना देंगे, यानी कि जैसे इटली में और जैसे यूरोप में बड़े ज़बरदस्त टूरिज़म के रिजॉर्ट्स होते हैं और बड़े डेवलप्ड होते हैं, ऐसा बनाएंगे। और उन्होंने कहा जो फ़लस्तीनी है उनको उठा के हम उनको इजिप्ट में और जॉर्डन वगैरह में रखेंगे। अच्छा, एक तरीक़े से ये मामला बड़ा गमगीर है कि एक इम्पीरियलिज़म, कलोनियलिज़म और रेसिज्म और क्या क्या, वो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप कह रहे हैं आई एम गोइंग टू डू इट, सो दिस इज़ द वे आई वांट इट। ये जो उनका करना है वो हम कहते हैं कि ये एक उन्होंने एहसान किया है अरब दुनिया पे और मुसलमान दुनिया पे, इसलिए एहसान किया कि फाइनली somebody has come up and said कि this is a step I am going to take, now do what you have to do। तो do what you have to do, कोई is there a response जो कि अरब दुनिया के पास है, जो मुसलमान दुनिया के पास है। तो इसी पर बात करने के लिए आज हमने सोचा कि सबसे बेहतर शख्स जो होंगे इस पर बात करने के लिए कोई फ़लस्तीनी को कहते हैं, हमें आए और बताएं कि उनके जहन में क्या है, क्या होना चाहिए। एंड सो इट्स नॉट जस्ट a Palestinian, this is a Palestinian who has stood for his homeland, who has studied about his homeland, who has suffered for his homeland, who has been in Israeli prisons, and now he's a diplomat, and we are very fortunate to have this very experienced diplomat, son of the soil from Palestine. We have His Excellency Zuhair Zaid with us in the studio. Warm welcome to the show, brother Ambassador Zaid. And on the behalf of Pakistani people, we tell you here that Pakistanis stand with you in this time of difficulty. And as I was narrating, for the last 75 years, Pakistan has stood by Palestinians to the best of our ability. But there's a very, very serious challenge that you face now, which I think the world faces, the Arab world faces, globally everybody faces. The Trump plan to remove the Palestinians from Gaza and turn it into a Riviera. So what is your own assessment?
First of all, thank you for having you in your screen. Second, I spent 14 years in Israeli prisons. It's very important to mention this. because many of our brothers spend more and more than me. Now, regarding the situation, really we are passing a very difficult situation, especially after the very clear and open position that we heard from the American president. From our side, no change, no difference between the Republican administrative and the Democratic administrative. Both have the same position, both supporting Israel directly, without any limitation, giving them the full support if this in the political arena, if this on the funds, technology, weapons, without limit. So from our side, everything is clear. And to be more clear, as a Palestinians, we start our struggle not just from 1948, when the ethnic cleansing started, when the genocide started, when the Nakba started. No, we start this before. From also 1936, we have our revolution until 1939, and also before. And we know that we are not just facing Israel. We are facing whom behind Israel, whom giving the support to Israel. And this is very important to be known, not just from our side, but also for our friends. We have our brotherly country, Arab countries, Muslim countries like Pakistan, whom also in the same side facing not just Israel, but also whom behind Israel. So Trump tried in his first tenure, and he suggests Abraham Accord.
Can you tell our viewers, how do you see, what are the key elements of the Abraham Accords according to the state of Palestinian understanding?
To be very clear, if the Israelis and the Americans making peace with all the Arab and Muslim world, we are respecting the independence and the sovereignty of each and every country, especially our brotherly country in the Muslim and Arab world. Fully we respect any decision they are taking, and we know what's behind. But if the Americans succeeded to make peace with all Arab and Muslim countries without the Palestinians, if there will be a peace, there will be stability, there will be any time to see that there is a full normalization also with the peoples of the Arab and Muslim world. In this last war, one Moroccan youth who had the green card in America came to Israel, to Tel Aviv, as a tourist, and he stabbed Israelis there. Why? Trump and all the Western, until now, I think maybe that they are not understanding the depth of the relation between Arabs and Muslims to the Palestinian land and Palestinian issue. And maybe also that some of them are doing what they are doing against the Palestinians on the basis of their ideology and religious beliefs, like the evangelical in the United States, and Trump one of them, that they are supporting Israel to enhance the will of God, to collect all the Jewish in Palestine and to have the fight for Armageddon before the end of the day. This is the dream for them, to enhance the coming of Jesus alayhi salam. This is the will of those extreme streams, especially in the Western country and particularly in United States. But at the end, they will succeed. They fail, and he failed in his first turnier, and he will.
Abraham Accords?
Yes.
He failed?
Yes, in my point of view, he failed, because his plan was to put aside the Palestinian issue and to make the normalization with the Arab world, and to leave the Palestinians without solution.
Yes.
And this is not happened. Arabs, including those whom had a relation with Israel at that time, they insist for the two-state solution. They insist for the solution of the Palestinian issue. So they did not leave the Arab and Muslim frame or position regarding the Palestinian issue.
One other point, you're absolutely right. I mean, one way of looking at it is this. The other point of view is that it is a consequence of the Abraham Accords that when after Tufan al-Aqsa, when the Israelis went in and basically began their genocide of the Palestinians, no Muslim country, Arab country, which had diplomatic ties with Israel, they did not break off their diplomatic ties. I'm saying there's this other point of view. And they did not stop trade. They did not convey to the Israelis through active measures that what you are doing is unacceptable. So those who point to this say that this happened because of the Abraham Accords and some greater understanding between the Arab governments who recognize Israel.
Let me explain here something. First of all, regarding the atrocity of the Israelis, nothing new. The world before 7th of October, maybe half year or whatever, some or many of the international human rights organizations said that Israel is an apartheid state.
For a long time.
Yes. But this is from day one of the creation of Israel, Israel is an apartheid. They spoke about ethnic cleansing, genocide with this war. I'm son of a refugee. My father left Palestine in 1948. My family is still having the keys of our home there in Beit Nabala, our original village inside Israel today.
नाज़रीन देख लेते हैं, ब्रेक के बाद वापस आते हैं, गुफ्तगू को जारी रखेंगे. अब हम बात करेंगे बड़ी स्पेसिफिकली डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के प्लान की, और उस हवाले से बात करते हैं कि दुनिया का, अरब दुनिया और मुसलमान क्या और इंटरनेशनली क्या रिस्पॉन्स है और क्या हम तवक्को कर सकते हैं.